right, we're going to continue our discussion about Microsoft Project. In the last class, I had you fill in different task names and durations, and we did that in this entry table. And then on the right side of Microsoft Project, we see a graphical view of how long each task is going to take, and that's called the Gantt Chart view, G-A-N-T-T, Gantt Chart. So let's add a few extra tasks to our entry table here. This project here is a project to set up a class reunion, a 5-year reunion for our university. So we've got a few tasks: survey alumni, determine reunion goals, etc. Let's add a few more tasks here. I'll add create gift baskets as a 5-day task, and make college visit as a 2-day task. Now, this file is actually a couple years old. Let's update our project start date to today's date. The easiest way to do that is go to the Project tab and click on Project Information. And here we see the project start date and the current date. I'm going to go ahead and edit the project start date. There's a pull-down menu here if I wanted to scroll to the right year and month, but because this is so far in the future, I'm just going to go ahead and type in today's date and go ahead and update that. Now notice right below, it hasn't updated the finish date yet. Once I hit OK, it'll go ahead and update that. But right below the finish date, there's a Schedule From pull-down menu. Tasks can be scheduled from either the project start date or the finish date. So if you schedule something from the start date, you'd want to probably get those tasks started as soon as possible. From the finish date would be, for example, if you're doing something for a class reunion and you're setting up this room, you wouldn't want to set up the banquet room and get it ready to go a year before the reunion. You'd want to do that as late as possible, so you'd be working off the project finish date when you're arranging those tasks. For now, we can just leave project start date and let's hit OK. And I hit OK and I see my start and my finish dates for my different tasks have been updated. Now, you can slide this bar here, and there's a lot of extra columns here that we don't necessarily need to look at, but I do want to make sure everyone can see the Predecessors column. And I talked about the predecessors last class. If you want to make sure one task is completed before the next task starts, you can just put the task number in the predecessor column. So if survey alumni has to be completely finished before we determine our reunion goals, then we can go ahead and put a number 1 here. And notice how the Gantt chart's updated with an arrow. So task 1 finishes completely, then there's an arrow going down to our next task. We can also add this line using the mouse. Select the middle of our task, drag it down to the next task, and it adds the relationship that way. But sometimes I find it's easier to just go ahead and put the task number here. So I'm going to fill in 3 as my next predecessor, then I'll go back to 2, and then 4, 4, 4, 4. And our last task, our Make College Visit, we'll say that there's no predecessor for that. We can do that at any point in time. So what's our new project finish date? Well, we've got this time scale up here. If you want to update the time scale, you can right-click there, and there's a pop-up menu, and it will allow you to adjust the different tiers. You can have up to 3 tiers showing on your time scale. It looks like we're showing the weeks as the middle tier, and then the days. You can update that to hours, months, years, whatever, depending on your project. The easiest way, I think, to find the project finish date is to go to Project, Project Information, and then the finish date's right there. It looks like April 20th. We could also see by looking at this finish column, and we could see that the latest date there is April 20th as well. So another interesting thing to do when you're looking at your entry table is to look at a task in more detail. So select any of these tasks here, and we're going to go to the View tab and select Detail. And I get a detailed view of that task, the name, the duration, the start, the finish time, and then some more details. I can right-click down here in this detail box, and I can change to predecessor and successor is what I'd want to look at. So this set agenda task has one predecessor, it's task number 2, and there's nothing that depends on it. There's no successors listed. And I can go next and previous, and I can look at all my other tasks, and I can see set budget task 4 has 4 things that are depending on it. That if we don't get task 4 done on time, it's going to impact the start date or time of these 4 tasks. As a project manager, you'll also want to keep track of something called the critical path. So tasks on the critical path are determining the finish date of your entire project. And if they slip, then your whole project's going to finish behind schedule or later than planned. So to get a good look at that critical path, let's go ahead and click anywhere on this Gantt chart, and then notice the contextual tab that pops up, Gantt Chart Tools. We're going to click on Format and put a check mark next to critical tasks, and any of our critical tasks will be red. So if any of these tasks slip, and most of our tasks are critical, and if they slip, the whole project's going to finish behind schedule. But notice that Make College Visit is not in red. That has plenty of room to slip. We could delay that and not impact our project finish date. And so we can see a lot of space at the end of that before our project finishes.